Hello friends, my name is James Hawkins, and as always I'm joined by my good friends Bryan Castiglione and Anthony Alessino, as well as my younger brother, Jack Hawkins. On this show we're all about parlays, overs, unders, spreads, and money lines. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Parlay-Vous. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Parlay-Vous podcast. NFL Week 10 on the docket for you today. I know we had Alessino with you yesterday. Don't get excited. He's gone again. Playoff softball. Hopefully they lose. We're all hoping they fucking lose. Carl Martinez, Big Tony, fucking Joe. We hope Joe's not going to be there. We hope the whole team loses. We need Anthony back on Thursdays. Fucking weddings, softball, this, that. The dog's sick. I don't care. We're trying to fucking run a podcast over here. We need our boy. No. I hope they get shelled. I hope they get mercied, and it's not even close. We do have Bryan Castiglione. We do have Jack Hawkins. As always, your boy, the D. Marco of podcasting, the man of 1,000 nicknames, Jimmy Hawk. What's up? You seem like you got something to say right away.
Jimmy Man. Jimmy Man. Listen, if I were a viewer of the podcast, I might say that Little T's cucking the show.
I would say that, yeah, he's definitely been cucking the show out.
You're using
here.
it that early?
Yeah.
I mean, dude, like,
I mean, it's up to you. It's yours. It's yours to use.
It's mine to
But
use.
I do agree.
Like, can I fucking take it back?
No, you already used it.
I just want to make sure you were aware, but I do agree
So
with
now I'm going to go find another term on Urban Dictionary that you have to limit on.
I agree with your saying, though.
He's definitely,
he's cucking the show.
He's definitely.
You know,
I feel personally like I'm in a Batman costume in the corner. I do.
We're all
Holy
just watching, really.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
We're all just watching. We're living in his world.
It's something, man. But hey, he says he'll be in studio on Tuesday. Now, I don't want to take his word for it. But
Hey now.
We'll just say as far as now, he'll be there.
yeah, look, Anthony Alessino knows a lot of things. I don't know him to be a liar.
That's very fair.
But I also don't know him to be present.
Not being
Once you get him, he's present.
Yeah, you just got to get him.
You got to get him there. It's a lot like getting your fucking boyfriend or husband to come to the drag show with you. You know? They're going to fucking say they don't want to come and the shit sucks and it's gay, but once you get them there, they're going to be screaming their head off, having a good time.
Handing out dollar bills.
Yeah. Putting them in their mouth. A lot of sexual themes to start the show.
There's a lot of... All right, let's go to Thursday.
Let's get the fucking bullshit out of the way. We talked about it. We talked about it last night.
Dude.
We talked about it last night. I said I don't know how much time we'd spend on it today, but we didn't have Bryan. We have Bryan now, so we'll talk about tonight's fucking absolutely electrifying matchup.
Yeah.
Carolina Panthers versus the Chicago Bears. I said last night I'm sticking by it. The only play I will make is under 38.5 total points. I could be talked into a DJ Moore revenge game line here.
Yeah.
I know you said off air that you were going to super boost the Bears.
I'm boosting the Bears minus 2.5 because it got me up to positive odds. And then DJ Moore was actually plus 165, which I didn't think. But I guess given that it's the backup quarterback, they're not really giving him, they're thinking it's probably less likely. But honestly, I just feel like we've seen this before. Like, same thing with the Raiders and the Giants last week with the we fire a coach game. The revenge game is a constant narrative in terms of like football, and everyone seems to always get theirs. So I wouldn't really be surprised if DJ Moore doesn't get at least one touchdown. I mean, if he doesn't have 100 receiving yards, it won't be the biggest thing, but I think he's good for at least 6. Put it that way. Also, Deontay Foreman revenge game too. So just keep that on the radar as well.
Return to Khalil though.
Yeah, that is true. Even though Foreman's looking good. Like,
really good. Looks formidable.
Yeah. That guy runs like a fucking bowl of razor blades.
For real.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm kind of alluding to what I'm betting. Like I said, minus 2.5. We're going to boost that up. I think it got me up to 104. So not like great positive, but still positive money. And then we're just going to run DJ Moore anytime and pretty much see what happens from there. I've been telling you on the tackles. I like to take tackles on teams that have stout defenses with all-stars that are constantly finding themselves all around the field. I don't see that on either side of the ball.
Shaq Thompson's a stud.
Yeah, but I like to parlay those.
Yeah.
So
little fucking Shaq Thompson. The problem is all the linebackers on the Bears suck. Edmonds, They paid these guys. They paid these guys all this money. Edmonds and who's the other guy from T.J. Edwards? The two linebackers in Chicago. They paid them both of them a ton of fucking money to come over.
The only
here.
player I know.
T.J. Edwards.
No, the other one. Who's the other one?
Edmonds. Or is this?
No, didn't they?
Isn't it Terrell something?
It's either Terrell or Tremaine Edmonds. They're brothers. One's a safety, one's a linebacker.
I'm wrong.
I can't remember.
I'm thinking of the
what
guy
team.
they shipped to the Ravens.
Roquan.
Yeah, I was thinking of Roquan.
Roquan Smith said recently, this week, like yesterday, said someone asked him about how he feels like now that he's been playing with the Ravens and he's no longer on the Bears, and he said, "I'm just happy I'm not wasting my career."
Yeah, I saw that. I
dude.
saw that.
Fucking electrifying stuff.
Yeah,
The only
nice.
defensive player I know on the Bears is Jaquan Brisker, and I think he's out for the rest of the season. So
I think so. Yeah. So the only thing with the DJ Moore revenge game stuff that I'm iffy on, and I said it last night, have you seen Tyson Bagent's spray chart?
No.
Every ball is within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage one way or another. It's either 3 yards up or 3 yards back. There's the occasional deep shot, but like, look at his spray charts, dude. They're all like basically extended running plays.
Yeah.
Even Darnell Mooney last week was catching balls 4 yards in front of the line of scrimmage and then took off with
I
it.
mean, is it unfair? Is it unfair to say that just feels like how the Bears run their offense? Because wasn't that the same gripe on Justin Fields last season? Was why isn't he throwing the ball downfield?
It could be.
You know, like
it could be. I'm also like I watched Tyson Bagent play last week a handful of plays just throughout coming up on red zone and what have you. Is it unfair to say he's just as good as Justin Fields is right now for this offense?
Honestly, I kind of said the same thing last week too. I was like, it kind of feels like the drop off from Justin Fields to Bagent really wasn't that dramatic, which honestly is a concern.
Major concern.
Major concern.
I don't believe it to be as major a concern as you're making it out to be, because I believe Matt Nagy is a horrible head coach.
And Matt
that's
Nagy's
fair.
gone, isn't he?
Not Matt Nagy.
Eberflus.
That dick. I don't. Who's the offensive coordinator in Chicago?
Oh God.
Yeah.
I'll look it up, but I couldn't tell you.
I don't know.
You don't know? Well, that's great. I don't know what the fuck their offense is doing.
I think
We're running
we
fucking
can-
wide receiver screens the whole time?
We can pretty much put the nail in the coffin on Justin Fields' time in Chicago. We got plenty of time to talk about what's going to happen.
Getsy is the
Luke
offensive
Getsy?
coordinator, yeah.
We got plenty of time to discuss off-season things and where Justin Fields might be a good fit at getting a second shot, but I do think his time in Chicago is almost up. At this point, isn't he healthy at this point and they're still rolling with Bagent, kind of?
I think he had a cast on last week on the
All right,
sideline.
maybe I was giving
They're
wrong.
pulling like the doubtful.
I
still.
think put it this way. I think if this was a Sunday game, he probably would have played. But given the short week, they're probably. Plus, honestly, like no disrespect to the Bears, but what are you rushing them back for? You guys ain't making the playoffs this year. Sorry, that's not gonna happen. Like,
Well, the only argument that you can make on rushing him back and getting him out there is there's decision time is coming one way or another, because if you don't know, I'm going to enlighten everybody now. I think I just explained this to Jack last night off air. First round picks obviously get the fifth year option. Fifth year option needs to be decided on after the third year.
really?
This is before you the
How
off
didn't I know
season
that?
going into the
Right.
fourth year, you need to decide on the fifth year option.
So this summer,
So
basically.
this spring they need to decide on Justin Fields' fifth year option, and that fifth year option is probably going to carry between 10 and 15 million for one season. So that's a decision that needs to be made, and teams get forced into making that decision. Like a guy like Corey Davis, they declined it. He wound up having a pretty good fourth year, and then he came over to the Jets. Daniel Jones 2 years ago, they came over, they declined it. He had a really good year. They won a playoff game. They had to give him a boatload of fucking money. Had they picked up that fifth year option, he'd be playing on the fifth year option this season, and we wouldn't be talking about the conversations we're having with the Giants and the Daniel Jones situation right now.
Right.
So that's the ultimate gamble. Everyone talks about the fifth year option like it's a huge deal, and yeah, it is, but sometimes you wind up in precarious positions when you have to make a decision,
Right.
and then you wind up, overplaying your hand, underplaying your hand, showing your cards too soon. That's just the nature of the beast. Good segue into the Giants, because number one, this is a big game with implications for the New York Giants.
Yeah.
Carolina and the Bears playing each other. Bears have 2 wins. Carolina has 1 win. The Bears own both of these teams' first-round picks next season. Giants also have 2 wins.
There is no win for this.
A Carolina win puts the Giants sort of in the driver's seat, quote-unquote, for that top pick in the draft next season.
Even with the Cardinals?
Well, the Cardinals are at 2 wins or 3?
They were at 1 last time I looked.
Are they at 1?
I'll check it real quick. But, I mean, don't get me wrong, it wouldn't surprise me if the Giants have the first pick, honestly.
Even if the Cardinals do only have the 1 win, Kyler Murray's starting this week.
Right.
Kyler's back.
Yeah.
So now,
and James Conner might be
we
back.
said this yesterday. Kyler Murray starts
Call
this
of Duty
week,
comes
but
out
what
tonight.
comes out tonight?
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. We know how much Kyler loves his double XP weekends. So we'll see what happens with Kyler Murray and the Cardinals this weekend. But
Dude, the thing is, though, buzz around Call of Duty, not big this year. It's not big.
so Modern Warfare 3, for whatever it is, I'm sure people who want to hear about football are going to be pissed with this little side conversation we're having here. Modern Warfare 3's single-player campaign mode is just under 4 hours long, which is the shortest Call of Duty game in the history of the franchise.
Yeah.
Which I know a lot of people just want to play deathmatch and online stuff, but there are people like you and me. I've been out of the first-person shooter game for a while now, but I want to play the fucking campaign. Like, there's something to it for me. Because we grew up before Xbox Live and
Right.
PlayStation Online, and where all you could do was play campaign modes, and then if you had 3 friends, and if you were wealthy enough, if your parents were well off enough to have 3 extra fucking controllers,
Yeah.
you could go fucking rumble in the jungle down there in the basement. More often than not, we always had at least 2.
Yeah.
Because me and Will were so close in age, we always had at least 2. We usually would have more, but usually it's like, yo, bring your controller, and we could play together,
Yeah.
you know? So, campaign modes, and especially in first-person shooters, mean something to me. We come from the generation that grew up playing Gears of War. That
Yeah.
campaign was a fucking...
Crazy.
That campaign was a ride.
Yeah, it was like
You
watching
know?
a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the Cardinals? They have 1 win?
I actually didn't even bless you. Oh,
Every orifice of my body is having a problem right now.
gotcha. Okay. The Cardinals are... Oh. They're just not... There's no simple way to find out a record. That's nice. 1-8.
Alright.
So...
Either way, implications for
Yeah,
the Giants and
definitely.
for draft status going on here. So I'm gonna hit you, and I'm thinking in my head, like, I don't think we have much to get to today, especially since I'm gonna have a shorter version of the college deal. So take as much time as you want with this. You're Joe Shane. Let's just say the Giants are picking 1. What do? We going quarterback? Or are we trying to make a move and trade back a few spots, look at Marvin Harrison Jr.? Try to add more beef try to use yet again another first round pick on an offensive lineman. What do you do? Let's say even they're picking in the top 3. What would you do? What do you want to see the Giants do, assuming they wind up picking in that top 3?
So... I feel like we need to ditch the idea of this first-round lineman draft pick. We've talked about it before. They do it a lot, and these guys don't pan out. They don't pan out. And then, like you've said before, the first-round pick for a draft, make or break. I mean, it's very obvious. Like, so, you know, between Eric Flowers and now I'm blanking on
Evan Neal.
Like, it's just, we keep doing this.
Justin Pugh was solid, but they took him in the first round also, and he wasn't knocking your socks off. I mean, he's probably one of the better linemen on the team now.
Right.
But he was a middling offensive lineman for most of his career.
So as far, I'm totally off the idea of drafting an offensive lineman or a fucking linebacker, because I know that was a thing they used to do for a while too, is take like a linebacker in the first, and it's like,
as many edge rushers as
why?
they can get their hands on.
But why? Like, the pass rush is great, but now the offense is lacking. So I'm gonna say if they take an offensive lineman, I feel like it would be a waste, especially in the top 3. When it comes to quarterback, the issue I have is kind of like what I was telling you. The only person I really know coming out right now is Caleb Williams, and I don't want him on my team. More so in the fact, like just as intangibles, I know you've, brought up the point that he doesn't throw into tight windows. There's, all this other stuff. My biggest concern, really, just from the outside looking in, outside of play, is this whole mantra of I want stock in the team, and I want this, and I want that, which is kind of nuts to me
I think he's
because
going to drop.
What's that?
I think he's going to drop to the late first.
I kind of feel like that's going to be the case too because, you know, you can't come out here and say these sort of things and then lose to a bottom-ranked team by 10 points. And, you know, no disrespect, these people are kids and all that other stuff, but we can't be getting upset and throwing a fit on the sideline and then saying we want to own stock in the team. Do you get what I'm saying? The two don't really go together.
Or saying I'm only going to play for one of 5 teams.
Right, that's not really a thing.
And one of those teams on that list is the San Francisco 49ers.
Right, they're not going to draft you, homie.
They,
and you're not even going to be in a position to draft you at the end of this year. So it doesn't, you know. I think if we're going to go, the problem is quarterback would be okay. The issue with that is we just dropped $145 million on Daniel Jones. So we're just going to sit on this contract for the next 3 or 4 years while he sits there behind, you know, like.
Daniel Jones is on the roster next season.
Yeah.
I believe his cap hit is something around $50 million. It's something
it's
around
probably a lot.
$53 million, I believe. If he's cut or traded, it's $62 million in dead money next season.
So that's all you have to hear right there.
The third after next season, they can cut him, move on from him, and I think it's going to be like a $20-something million hit in dead money, but they'll save $19 million.
66. Yeah.
66 million.
66 million
if they cut him.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after next season, they can move on from him, and they'll save about $19 million. It's still going to be like a $22 million in dead money. But he's on the roster next season, and Daniel Jones isn't the problem, in my opinion.
Well, I was actually getting to that because I kind of liked that third idea that you brought up. You know, the biggest I've always been a Giants fan. The biggest gripe I have about the Giants and the way they handle their transactions, we never make splash moves. It's always safe, conservative, no one flashy, no one crazy. Kenny Golladay was the most risky thing they've done in the last X amount of years, and how the fuck did that pan out? You know, it bothers me that, I mean, I know the money was probably an issue because I know you had brought that up too, but we didn't try to make a call on DeAndre Hopkins at all. The whole entire offseason, we didn't try and do a goddamn thing the whole fucking time. Like
we had this conversation last night because I posed the same question to
right,
Alessino, and he said they just got burned by Kenny Golladay, and they're not going to be willing to get burned again. That's his whole point.
Yeah, so he feels the same way I do. But you mean to tell me like we couldn't make a fucking call? We couldn't try and do anything. We have technically have Darren Waller as the number one. And then behind him, it's probably Wan'Dale Robinson. Because Darius Slayton.
Issues again.
Right. And I know everyone wants to say Darius Slayton's the one, but honestly, it's really Wan'Dale Robinson at this point. So I like the idea of what you mentioned, trading back to get Marvin Harrison. I mean, we're talking generational talent as far as many people are concerned. If Daniel Jones, you know, if the idea is we want to run with Daniel Jones, why not give him a high caliber target to throw the ball to? Because Darren Waller obviously isn't that. Do you know, like, that was the big idea was we'll get the tight end help, we'll have a short seam guy. But he's been pretty much non-existent even when he was playing. So, I mean, trading back to get Marvin Harrison, kind of interesting. He's obviously a day one starter on that team. No questions asked. You know?
The thought of it, here's the thing, because of how the Giants work now, and I know I'm not a Giants expert, but just how they look, like, a Marvin Harrison guy, a generational wide receiver. Even now, like we went back, James went over this last night when we did the. He said we already had generational wide receiver, and then he, you know,
Alessino said we had Odell Beckham, and what happened there?
You know?
Yeah,
but
I mean,
it's different. It's not Eli throwing the fucking ball.
You know what?
It's not 34-year-old Eli.
Right.
Older than that.
I get what Alessino's saying with that, but like, the real question begs is he left the Giants, and then what happened?
With Odell?
Yeah.
Mostly nothing.
Nothing.
He got hurt.
I mean, he won a ring.
So, you know, he won a ring because he got signed to a team later on in the season and played, 3 games?
He also, he quite literally could have won the Super Bowl MVP.
He was probably on pace to, but
no disrespect to Odell. He's a great player. 1,300-yard season rookie year on the Giants. Absolutely phenomenal.
Only played in 11 games.
Right. It's absolutely phenomenal. But I think the Giants made a good call on getting him out of there when they did, because I think that's probably how it would have went either way. But I agree with what Jack's saying. Get Marvin Harrison on the field. I mean, start drawing these defenses over to respect the receiver in some way, and in that sense, will open up everyone else. You got Jalen Hyatt running deep routes, but he's only one of two guys. So the top two corner on any team is guarding him. So if you send him down the sideline,
and there's no time for him to get
Right.
down the field
So,
with this offensive line.
you know, if we get another weapon out there, we pull some safety help over, then Jalen Hyatt starts really. I mean, honestly, Jalen Hyatt's probably the most promising receiver in my eyes right now on the
100%,
team.
100%,
And there's no doubt in my
Every
mind.
time the ball gets thrown at him, I start to clench a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm like,
you're like,
yo,
oh,
I'm like, oh shit, dude.
Yeah.
exciting, something
Yeah,
exciting
it's-
for the Giants.
Exactly.
I know, dude.
Yeah.
I'm excited that I'm excited for the Giants, dude.
No, because I agree with what Jack's saying too. I mean, I've been okay with the Giants being a 500 team since, you know, they got their 2 Super Bowls. I was 16 years old. I couldn't be happier that I got to watch my team, you know, win the ring or whatever. And I've been fine with them being a 9-7, not even making the playoffs team for the last 10 years. But this 2 and whatever, the offense can't generate barely 100 yards. The defense is getting torched on every single play. Like it's not even watchable. It's completely unwatchable.
Yeah, the word we used to describe both New York football teams last night was abysmal.
Yeah, I mean that's extremely fair.
We used a lot of words last night. we were talking about Julius Randle and how bad Julius Randle's been playing.
Yeah.
The last time now, I don't know how he did last night, and then Monday night he had a decent game. But going into Monday night, the last time someone shot as low of a shooting percentage as he's shooting right now
Mhm.
was 1959. I was
Jesus.
like, Julius Randle is so bad right now that it's racist. Right?
It's
I'm like,
literally, yeah.
I'm like, you go back to 1959 where white people were still loosely using racial slurs in public, dude. Like, that's how bad this is. Going
Yeah.
into Monday, from shots between 0 and 3 feet from the basket, 0 to 3 feet away from the basket,
Yeah.
Julius Randle is shooting 7%.
7?
7.
Oh, Lord.
60 is low.
Isn't he a forward?
Yeah. 6 foot.
He's 6'9".
6'8".
That's
He's
a little
short
concerning.
6'9". Yeah. But we don't need to talk
I
about
was
the
gonna
Folia
say,
scandal right now.
I'll wrap it up on this. Out of all 3 options, ditch the lineman. We need to stop going that route. I think keep Jones on the roster because you don't want to eat that money anyway just to restart this whole thing over. I like the idea of trading for Marvin Harrison. I think it's very interesting. The problem with that is a lot of people are going to be trying to trade for Marvin Harrison. Like, a lot.
The issue with Marvin Harrison is that he's arguably the number 1 not quarterback getting drafted.
Absolutely.
His absolute floor. Now, all of this depends on regimes that get shaken up, who finishes where, what the actual top 10 looks like by the time we get there. But I feel like his floor is 5 to 7. I don't think he goes further than 5 to 7. So even if the Giants are sitting at a 1 or a 2, and they're in a position to maybe move back a couple of picks, maybe you pick up some capital there and you get the guy. I think there are other really good receivers in this draft. And if you can move down from the top 5 to like 10, 11, 15 in that range, pick up some serious draft capital because there's holes all over the roster. It's not like we plug in a wide receiver and we're good. Emmanuel Ibuka, Marvin Harrison's running mate at Ohio State, is also going in the top 20 next year. And I think he's getting seriously overshadowed by the fact that he plays alongside Marvin Harrison and by the fact that they got first-year starter Kyle McCord, who is the first time in, 3 straight quarterbacks that isn't an NFL quarterback
Right.
at Ohio State.
Yeah.
We went from Dwayne Haskins to Justin Fields to
R.I.P.
C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Dwayne Haskins. Sucks what happened.
It's fucked up.
Went from Dwayne Haskins. Say what you want about the way he played, but that's a first-round pick NFL player. Dwayne Haskins, Justin Fields, C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
3 straight NFL quarterbacks to now a first-year starter in Kyle McCord, who, quite frankly, in my opinion, isn't an NFL quarterback. So
And
now
Marvin Harrison's still putting up numbers.
Marvin Harrison's still putting up numbers.
Still putting up.
Emmanuel Ibuka is definitely being overshadowed by the fact that Marvin Harrison's there, by the fact that their running game is so sick, and by the fact that Kyle McCord has struggled this year.
Yeah.
I think Emmanuel Ibuka is going to wind up, especially early, people are going to be like, holy shit, look at this kid.
Yeah.
Everyone was so worried. Everyone was so concerned looking over here that they didn't fucking realize the other guy on the other side of the field was
Right.
probably close to just as good. And he doesn't have an NFL Hall of Famer's name,
Right.
you know.
Right.
So
Literally.
we'll see what happens there, but I really do think there's some there's a lot more wide receivers that'll be available in April that aren't named Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
I think it'll get interesting. We got fucking 8 more games to get through before we even consider talking about stuff like this, though.
Yeah.
So
it is crazy. We're about the half point of the season.
yeah,
It feels like it's flying.
Yeah.
Really.
I was thinking about that last week.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
And we've done 3 football Sundays as a group.
I've only done one.
That's
I was in Philadelphia I was in Philly, and then where was I for the other one? I had a aunt's family event, I think.
yeah.
So, I was with aunt's family, and then in Philly. So, college time.
College time, baby. So last week we had 3 picks on the docket as always. We had the Colorado Buffaloes plus 13.5. I think they lost by 17, didn't get the cover. We had the number 1 pick that everyone should have been smashing. It's not even like I said this is a gimme, and I feel like I'm copping out by even putting it in my list. Under 32.5 in the Army Air Force game. 29 total points scored in the game. The under cashed, and we moved to 46-10 since 2005 with the unders cashing when service academies play each other.
Damn.
Then we had Washington versus USC. We took Washington -3. That one also cashed. And here's what I wanted to tag you on Caleb Williams with.
Mm-hmm.
My man's fucking in the stands crying in his mother's arms in his full uniform after they lost to Washington after the game. Crying because you lost the game. And you think you're going to fucking survive in the New York market? No way. He might be good. He ain't surviving in the New York market, dude.
I don't take it away from him for getting upset. I'm sure emotions are high. You know how football goes, especially when, you're the guy. But I agree, man.
Cry in the fucking locker room.
No, I know. But I don't gripe. I don't gripe on him for that. But I agree, man. If that's going to be your reaction to an upset loss, you see what's happening to Zach Wilson, and he barely is in the media. He stays away from the media, and they still find a way to fucking call him out. So, I agree, man. Go ahead, keep going. Sorry.
No, not at all. You're good. And fucking do that shit in the locker room. And the other thing was his post-game press conference. They asked him how he felt about the loss. And he said, I'm going to go home, fucking, cuddle up in my bed, cuddle my dog, and watch TV. We lost. I'm upset. That's not the answer I want out of a guy that I'm going to hand $35 million guarantee to. That's not the answer I want.
I get the idea, and that's probably what you're going to do. But
I get it. We're talking about a 21-year-old kid. I get it.
Right. But I get it. I'll give him the pass on that. But in terms of the public eye, like, you're a leader of the team. You got to kind of...
You've been the most talked about quarterback prospect
right.
for 2.5 years now.
Listen, it's totally fine. You can go home, cuddle your dog, cry, watch TV, do whatever the hell you want to do. But on the podium, you got to be like, look, we lost. We got to come back. We got to make some adjustments, and we'll be back next week. That's it. That's all you got to do.
I agree.
And I think coaches look at that too, because if he's going to be the quarterback of your team, he's going to be on the podium every single game. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not like he's a lineman or a linebacker.
You're the second guy I want to hear from after the head coach.
Exactly.
What's so funny? Fucking giggles.
Wow, you're really giggling over there.
Share with the class.
I remembered what you asked me earlier today, so we'll talk about that at the break.
Oh, yeah, I think we talked about that already.
No.
Whatever.
Are you talking about a shrimp?
Oh, no, but yeah, we'll get to that. That's not what I was talking about, but yeah. So, anywho, we go 2-1 in the week. That brings my overall college record for the season to 14-7-3, which is, again, not the amazing, the 9-2 that I started at, but I still think 14-7-3 is good. I mean, that's up money. That's positive money at the end of the week.
Is that 75? 0.75 on that? 75% win percentage?
I mean...
Or is it 66?
That's 14 divided by 24 would give you my winning percentage.
14 divided by 24.
Yeah, I was in remedial math, but we'll see.
I bet it's like
Bryan was in double
66%.
period math.
Maybe 67?
58.
58?
The 3 pushes, though, like the winning percentage, sure. The 3 pushes is what makes it positive.
So if you were 17, that would be 75, almost. Just about. It'd be like 73.
Around there, high 60s.
Yeah, probably around there.
The fact that you have the 3 pushes, you get your money back on those 3. Those aren't losses, and that's what ultimately puts us into the plus money with the college stuff. So this week, I don't have... I'm willing to take the blame. Obviously, the last 2 weeks have been hectic over here at the Parlay-Vous podcast. We got a lot going on with our personal lives.
Yeah.
A lot going on at work.
Yeah.
Got 2 new guys starting new jobs to my left over here
Yeah.
this week and next week.
Yeah.
Obviously, our buddy just got, or 3 of our buddies just got married. Another
Our
one
whole
of
fucking friend group.
another one of our buddies getting married on Saturday in Georgia. Congrats, Joe and Mel.
Hell yeah.
But let me tell you,
And,
we're on our way here. We're so fucking back, dude.
Yeah, we're back, but my whole point is that I don't have my typical breakdown by the numbers, my typical statistical analysis of these picks. We're going more intuition here than numbers based for this week, and we'll see how it plays out. Maybe I go 3-0, maybe I go 0-3, maybe it's a 1-1-1 split. But here we go. We got Texas versus TCU. Quinn Ewers is back. Quinn Ewers is back, starting quarterback for Texas. I believe they went 1-1 with the backup the last 2 weeks. TCU is not a good team this year. Texas is still vying to maybe put themselves in a playoff conversation. I don't know how well it's going to work out for them at this point. Spread's -12 for Texas, and we're taking Texas -12. If Colorado could blow the doors off of TCU, I don't think Texas should have any problem with TCU this week.
TCU is not ranked this year?
They were ranked until Colorado blew their doors off.
Really?
In week 1.
They've just been shit in the bed since.
Well, they lost so many players. Their starting quarterback is on a practice squad somewhere in the NFL. Their
I don't even
quarterback from
think.
last year. The running back DeMarcado is a
On the Cardinals.
Cardinal now.
Yep.
Yeah, they lost a lot of their Quentin Johnson.
Damn, I didn't know he went to TSCU.
Yeah,
I picked him up for
TCU,
Connor
yeah.
because I have Connor. Nice.
Yeah, DeMarcado is their starting running
I
back.
had no
Quentin
idea.
Johnston's wide receiver 1. He's with the Chargers
Chargers,
now.
yeah.
Max Duggan was in camp with the Chargers.
That
I
name
don't know
sounds
where
so
he is
familiar.
now.
That's not, he got cut?
He got
name
cut from the
sounds so
Chargers. I think he's on a
familiar.
practice squad somewhere.
Him and Trace McSorley both fucking living out their best days.
I mean, Trace McSorley, probably not the same level of quarterback as Max Duggan.
He's still on the Chargers.
He's on the
practice
Chargers
squad.
practice
Yeah.
squad. Yeah. So my next game, we got a big top 10 matchup nationally. It's also a big matchup in the Big Ten. We have I believe, are they still 1 Michigan Wolverines? 3 maybe? They're definitely a playoff team as it stands today. Number 3 Michigan taking on number 10 Penn State Nittany Lions. Both of these teams like to run the ball, like to methodically work their way down the field, and beat the shit out of you physically on offense and on defense. Both of these teams play very good run defense. They do not get beat in chunk plays. And they both like to fucking pace their way down the field, beat you up with the running game, some play action. The over-under set at 44.5 points, and we're going under. It's going to be a fucking slugfest. It's going to be a knock 'em out, beat 'em up, fucking drag it out, 12-round heavyweight fight. I expect points to come at a premium. We're going under 44.5. 44.5.
Oh,
I felt
you're not
like was
joking. They're fucking first in points allowed.
Who, Michigan?
6.7 points per game.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit. They're first in yards allowed, too. 230 a game.
Yep.
Jeez. Passing's not so great.
So Jim, you got a favorite in this matchup at all? Outside of the gambling,
I mean, so my crazy fucking gambler brain, where we always try to find all these angles to try to see something that you don't look at on paper, wants to go with the sign stealing scandal that's going on in Michigan
Yo,
right
I've
now.
been seeing this.
They just fired the scout, who is the main perpetrator of the
He
sign
was on the
stealing.
sideline, right? With like,
He was buying tickets to other games,
That's-
to other
yeah.
Big Ten games, and like that's not legal by NCAA. You're not allowed to go as a guest to other teams inside of your own conference. Over the course of the last 2.5 seasons, they have like proof of him attending 33 Big Ten games.
yeah, I think the last I saw, they were looking for a guy who's been wearing sunglasses on the sideline the whole time. They don't know how he got in.
They are talking about potentially banning them from the playoffs this year.
Holy shit.
I'm telling you, Harbaugh's going to the NFL because he's going to get the fuck out of here before Michigan gets skull fucked. They're not going to get the death penalty, but it could be a USC situation where they're like playoff banned for a year, 2 years, 3 years.
Jeez.
Who knows what's going to go on here. This past week is when they fired the scout. A lot's going on. They're being probed by the NCAA. Big investigations. Michigan's launching their own investigation, the school, into them, the team. Now Michigan's coming out and trying to counter and saying that multiple Big Ten teams were sharing their Michigan signs with each other. So it's a big fucking nonsense going on behind the scenes that ultimately doesn't necessarily have to do with the play, but you know, it's 112 kids on a college football team.
So
You're trying to keep them all focused. if you want to look for a weird angle, any kind of angle that might, that's the one that would make you want to go Penn State.
You want to go Penn State?
Yeah.
Well, I like Penn State.
But I've watched a ton of Michigan football, and I've just watched them fucking manhandle teams and beat them the fuck up. And Blake Corum is a serious running back, and J.J. McCarthy is a Heisman favorite right now, and they're playing very good football, and it's hard to score on them. And Penn State again.
Well, this is the second chance for them.
Penn State again is a team that doesn't get a lot of chunk plays. I think they're fucking in the bottom 5% of the country.
61st in total yards.
In terms of pace of play, I think they're fucking...
They're 77th in pass yards.
Yeah. They're not... So if you get in a situation where you're down 10, down 14, down 17 early, I just don't see a way where they can get themselves back into it. But the Penn State in and of themselves are nothing to sneeze at defensively.
It's not like Michigan's much better on offense, though. Like...
So I do think Penn State might have an if you want to look for a crazy angle, that could be your angle. Talks you into taking Penn State. I personally can't bring myself to bet against Michigan based on what I've seen this season and last season. So I think the under is the safe pick here. We go under 44.5 points. Michigan, Penn State.
Who did Penn State lose to this year?
They've lost to Ohio State.
Ohio State,
which,
right. And that was a game they should have won.
What are you going to do about that, really?
Yeah, they should have won that game. Ohio State beat them late.
Oh, I watched that game.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Third pick on this week's Super Saturday Showdown slate. We got the Maryland Terrapins playing the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Nebraska, in my opinion, not a very good team this year. They got off to a slow start. Matt Rule, although he did not succeed well in the NFL, he is a pretty damn good college ball coach. They run the ball well. They play halfway decent defense. They don't make a lot of mistakes. Maryland's they've had a couple of tough ones lately. They had to go up against Penn State, I think, last week. They've had a couple of tough Big Ten games on the schedule. This is still an explosive offense. Still, I believe, the most explosive passing offense in the Big Ten. One of the more explosive passing offenses in the country. Of course, headed up by Talia Tagovailoa, younger brother of Tua Tagovailoa.
Oh my God, that's such a difference.
What?
Maryland's ranked 26th in pass yards. Nebraska 129th.
Yeah, out of like 132 something teams. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Motherfucking Nebraska.
So ultimately, I just look at this. The line is only -2 in favor of the Terrapins, and 2 is just too damn low for me. So the pick is going to be Terps -2. So again, just to recap it, we got Texas Longhorns -12, under 44.5 in the Michigan versus Penn State game, and the Maryland Terrapins -2 over Nebraska. Those are the college picks this week.
I might take Penn State.
Thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking about
It
it.
might be worth a little scratch.
Yeah,
Just
nice
throw
12
a
p.m.
little,
spot.
sprinkle a little fucking
Big noon. Big noon Saturday.
Big news.
Is it Fox Big
It's
Noon
the game.
Saturday?
It's the
Is
game
it
of the week.
Fox
Yeah.
game?
Oh, really? Oh, shit.
It's Big noon Saturday. Fucking Penn
I mean,
State.
it makes
Michigan.
sense. Fox loves their Big Ten games. First of all, the Big Ten and the Big 12 are about to blow up because, as we know, the Pac-12 is basically dispersing into the Big Ten and the Big 12, and I don't think any of them are going to the SEC. I think a few of them might be going to ACC. But it's going to be interesting next year when we get to see fucking these West Coast teams like UCLA and USC travel to fucking is it Lancaster, Michigan, where the fucking Wolverines play, and this time of year, late November, and they gotta go play in a fucking snow game after they. What about teams that are fucking when California teams are gonna have to go fly across the country and go play Rutgers?
Yeah.
Go play fucking Rutgers in Piscataway, New Jersey.
Yeah.
You might as well. They're talking about how the NFL teams hate fucking flying overseas to London. That's the same flight going from fucking Pasadena, California to fucking Piscataway, New Jersey.
Yeah, it is.
That's the same flight.
Literally. Same
And
hour difference, too.
When you're dealing with these big pipeline schools, like the California, USC gets all the California kids. They get all the California kids.
Right.
A lot of the schools in Florida get all the Florida kids. You got kids fucking coming from USC who probably never seen snow before. Legitimately never seen snow with their own eyes in the human realm. And then they're going to have to go play a football team against a team like Michigan or Michigan State.
Who does it all?
The only way they've
time.
seen snow is in a fucking shitty Hallmark movie.
Yeah. I mean, for real.
I mean, I remember being a kid, like in high school, and there was a Miami played some. I don't remember who they played, but they literally had video of the kids getting off the bus like children because they'd never seen.
Yeah,
snow
I remember
before
that.
in their
Yeah.
life. This is like when we were probably
We were in high
10th
school.
and 11th grade.
Yeah.
Like years ago. But you hear it every so often, and it's going to be interesting next year. Sorry, there's no Pac-12 matchups. Don't get me wrong. I thought about it. I just don't want to keep feeding you the same teams every week and the same Pac-12 teams because I'm a big Pac-12 guy. A lot of my favorite teams to watch this season are in the Pac-12. This is the best year the Pac-12's ever had in my lifetime in terms of like league success. I think they got 7 or 8 teams top ranked nationally. All the really good teams are fucking like not all of them. But there's a ton of really good teams in the Pac-12 this year, and they're all leaving. Oregon's playing USC this weekend. This is a little bonus for you. Obviously, I'm a Duck fan. If you don't know, you know now. Been a Duck fan for years. Not a bandwagon guy. I've been a Duck fan since probably 2006.
Bro's got the OG Oregon jersey. It's got the wings on the shoulders.
Kenyon Barner. I have an Oregon
Fuck is Kenyon Barner.
jersey.
Kenyon Barner.
Kenyon Barner.
Well, that's the
son.
late game on Saturday.
Yeah. Oregon's minus 15. And just based on everything I've seen the last 3 weeks from these teams, I'm inclined to take Oregon minus 15. That's a bonus pick for you. That's something I'll be putting money on late Saturday night, hopefully. With
Jeez, over under 75.5.
You bet your damn ass it is.
Holy shit.
By the way, don't know if you saw it, the USC Washington game last week. I think at around halftime, the live over under was 104.
Really?
Yeah, they scored 94 total points in the game.
No one was playing defense.
They scored more points in that game than the entire Big Ten West did the whole day.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Now, the Big Ten West is like the big joke. It's the joke about how bad their offense is. That's like the Iowa State.
But that's still kind of crazy.
Those are the teams that set Iowa and I forgot who they played. They set the all-time NCAA low for an over-under at 29.5 a couple of weeks ago. I like Oregon. We're going to keep it as a bonus pick. It's not making the official ticket here, but I'm just letting the people know. I'll be putting the scratch on Oregon this weekend. Let's do handicapping. Let's review last week. Jack, you have the records in front of you still or no? I have our overall records.
I do.
I went 5-8-1.
Yes.
Bryan went 7-7.
Yes.
You went
7-6-1.
Good on you guys. I suck. So my record for the year.
Well, you picked the Cowboys, so you should have fucking known better.
And the Cowboys should have fucking won that game. What are you talking about? Don't insult me with dumbass shit, dude. Twice the Cowboys were inches away from winning that
Doing
game.
my best Stephen A.
times,
Smith
my
impression.
man.
Get me a fucking Cowboy.
First we had Schoonmaker. First of all, let me
Schoonmaker.
thanks for fucking bringing it up. Thanks for bringing it up. Because riddle me the fuck this, Brian.
Okay.
When you catch a ball,
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
when you catch a football in the NFL or in college, what do you need? And you fall while you catch it. What do you need to do before the catch is completed?
Control it and put your feet in it.
Maintain possession and get
You
your
need,
feet down.
you need to survive the ground,
Yeah.
right? You need to survive the ground. So why is it, in order for a catch to count, you need to survive the ground? But when Schoonmaker catches that ball, his knee goes down before he survives the ground, and he lands in the end zone. No, now he's down at the 1.
Yeah,
What? I've been watching
I know.
football for 25 fucking years.
Yeah.
How do I not know what a catch is and what isn't a catch?
I agree with you. I thought that was a touchdown. I don't see.
I
really don't see
I
how.
get his knee was down, but if you need to survive the fucking ground, it has to work both ways then.
Right. No, it was a weird play. It was absolutely a
Had
weird
he
play.
fucking landed on the ground and the ball moved or bounced out of his arms, it would have been no catch.
Right.
He wouldn't have been down at the fucking half-yard line.
Right.
But since he did catch it and his knee was down, he's down at the half-yard. I don't understand it. It's not like this is my second year watching the NFL. Been doing it as long as I can fucking remember. I've been watching NFL football.
It was a weird call. I also feel like the guy who tackled Goddard probably should have got tossed out of there too.
Yeah.
Everyone keeps making the argument that Goddard was stiff arming. I get that. Goddard was also on the sideline. So if he's stiff arming you, just get under his arm and push him out of bounds. You don't need to grab his arm, rip it, and twist your whole entire body with it. Just knock him out of bounds.
The only
I know.
thing-
The argument
I'll
online is he
def-
was stiff arming. He was stiff arming.
No, it's
but
not even it. I'll defend players most of the time. The only time you're not going to see me defend a defensive player is when they do the Brendan Merriweather shit.
Oh, when you pop up.
Where
Yeah.
where both of your hands are at your fucking hips and you launch your
Literally
body like
driving.
you create a fucking
A missile.
an F-15 Tomcat missile out of your body.
Yeah.
And you're intending to fucking hurt somebody.
Yeah.
Brendan Merriweather should have been thrown out of the league for life. The fact that he was just
Right.
able to retire is a fucking abomination.
Different time though. I'm sure if that shit was going on now, it would have been over with.
He was going out there looking to fucking crush people's faces,
Yeah.
dude. Like, and that's the only time you will see me not defend a defensive player. Game's fast. It's a bang play.
Yeah.
You're just trying to wrap, grab, and bring down.
Right.
I don't necessarily believe he's out here trying to put him in the Fujiwara armbar.
No,
You know,
I don't think he
you
was
grab,
either.
you
But
wrap, and tackle. And
But
it's
that
just an
wasn't-
unfortunate play.
you know form tackling. That's not a form tackle.
Well,
Come
form,
on now,
form
man,
tackling
like-
goes out the window when you're chasing someone down.
Push
So
him. I guess so. But you couldn't just push him out of the sideline?
I get what you're saying.
Gonna rip his
but
arm? I know. It's
a fucking defensive back against the tight end.
I know.
The chances of how many fucking times these guys just bounce off.
Right. I know.
You're trying to make a play.
It's just a shitty situation.
Had it been more dirty, and maybe I'd be with you. You know,
Yeah.
like,
No,
I just didn't think it was that dirty.
It seems
It's
very
just an
50-50 on
unfortunately-
mine, so I'm kind of 50-50.
I mean, hey, if
but
you grew
I
up,
feel like it was bad.
if you grew up playing Pop Warner football, youth football, and when we grew up playing fucking youth football in Pop Warner, everybody saw LT and Steven Jackson and all these guys. And the first time I saw a kid at 6 years old try to throw a stiff arm, whistles, coaches blowing whistles, break everything up and say, hey, this isn't the NFL. You know what's going to happen if you do that? You're going to break your fucking arm.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what coaches told us when we were 7.
yeah.
So just because you're bigger and you're stronger and you're capable of doing it, you know that that's a risk.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have happened if you would have had 2 hands on the football and just took his yards.
Yeah.
So you can make that argument both ways. I'm not saying players shouldn't stiff arm guys.
I get it.
So I dropped to last place. I'm 39, 48, and 4. Jack is in first place out of the 3 of us. Who knows what Alcino's record is. Jack is 41, 46, and 4. Bryan is 40, 48, and 3. Now again, these records are for every week sans week 8 because we took that week off because of the wedding. So we can get into it, I suppose, but I don't think we have a blank sheet with us, do we?
I could pull up the spreads.
You have everything. You have a blank sheet or a sheet with the real spreads on it.
Motherfucking ta-da!
Oh, even better. Even better.
Look at this fucking guy. You know what, Jack? Earlier today, you asked me to grade you at work, and I said A minus, and you said why isn't it an A plus? Now you get an A plus.
Yeah, that's
Now
good
it's an
shit.
A+.
That's good shit.
Where's
Good
my
shit.
fucking
That's
goal?
good show.
You know what?
Give it to
Fuck yeah.
Bryan though, because you have
Wait.
chicken scratch handwriting.
That's
I got
fine.
you guys.
That's fine. There's a pen in the bottom if you want it.
There's fucking 19 pens back
Yeah,
here.
it's a little pen.
Oh,
pen-
fuck.
It's a pen sanctuary back here.
Sanctuary.
I
Another
think there
word
must be a
I'd
dead
like to
spider.
use.
They're safe back there. Spider crickets
The dead one,
need
dead
to
one.
die immediately.
Dude, I've been waging war against the spider crickets down like by
They
the
gotta go.
yeah.
They're on the kill list.
Dude, I saw one bigger than a fucking pink, like
I believe it.
almost the size of a tennis ball the other day.
I believe it. Dude,
Ended
they're
him.
yeah,
I
they
ended him.
they're on the kill list, and I don't kill
Yeah.
bugs, but
They're
they
one of
are
the
an
they're one of the only
on-site
insects,
kill list.
yeah. It's hands on
I think
site.
it's the only one that's on the. Actually, no, moths are on the kill list because I can't.
Mosquitoes are it's on site.
Yeah, mosquitoes on site, moths on site, just because I can't get them out of my house easily. They don't make it easy.
The typical rule for me is if we're outside, that's your domain.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
you
kill
live
a
your
bug
life.
outside.
If you're invading my house, it's on site, dude.
It depends on what they are and where they are.
He listens to no man. He abides by no flag. No.
The only like I won't kill a ladybug,
That's
obviously.
bad luck.
Yeah, well it's also good luck.
Dude,
to
they
find
fucking
them, yeah.
show up in our fucking bathroom all the time.
Dude,
Really?
I thought I saw a ladybug on my wall the other night, and I'm like, oh, ladybug on my wall, I could use some good luck, and I walked over to it, beetle. So you know what I did to him? I grabbed the tissue, I grabbed him, I didn't kill him, I just
Right.
grabbed him with the tissue, and I dropped him into the toilet.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
Enjoy the fucking Long Island sewer systems, buddy. No, it's not the sewer systems because we have fucking our own well and our
Yeah,
own side of
you
the
have a
thing.
well.
So you're just gonna go drown in the bottom of my front yard somewhere, buddy.
Pretty much.
Talk
So,
about swimming
Thursday
with the
night,
fishes.
even though what are we looking at? Game don't start for about
Yeah,
40 minutes.
We got
So
some time.
this might get uploaded before the game starts. Let's go for it. We got Carolina, Chicago. Chicago's 3.5 now.
Yeah. was when I took it before.
Jack, fire away.
I mean, you already know what I'm taking because
You announced it.
I put the bet in.
Jim, you go.
Carolina.
Carolina, okay.
Fuck.
Even though I don't believe in
Didn't
Russ,
make
though.
it any easier for Jack here.
I will go with Bryan. I'll go Chicago because whenever me and Bryan agree on something, it fucking works out for the better. And that's the only time this will get used. Little wild card for you.
All right. You want me to, is it easier if I read them? Or
I mean, it's up to you. You can read them.
You can read them. Go ahead.
Indianapolis at New England, in Frankfurt, Germany, once again.
Yeah,
the
9:30.
Frankfurt games. I think this is our last European game of the year.
I think so. I'm waiting for them to do a game in Mexico City.
We might. I think we have one in Mexico
Yeah.
City coming up.
Pretty lit.
But yeah. So we got Indianapolis and New England. New England is technically the home team here, even though the game's in Germany. Like we were saying off air, it's finally time to admit that New England, for the first time in our lives, are a poverty franchise.
Yeah.
And Gardner Minshew, fucking Jonathan Taylor playing Wildcat all game, injured Anthony Richardson. I don't care who's out there. Give me the Colts.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Colts as well. Are you taking
You
Colts?
see, I'm going to take the Colts, but
Okay.
wouldn't it be fucking hilarious if the Patriots win in Germany?
I low-key was going to say that, but I feel like I
They
played this
win.
game
They win in fucking.
every week.
They win in Germany against Frank Reich. I mean, come on, dude. The writing's on the wall.
That would be something,
The
honestly.
Patriots beat the Third Reich in Germany, dude.
Dude, how fucking wild would that be?
Third Reich Frank.
Third Reich
That
Frank
would be
goes
wild.
down, and he's the away team. Patriots.
In the Rhineland.
United States is always going to fucking
We
beat
got-
everyone's heads.
We got the Houston Texans, the Stroud boys, traveling to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals, who are back, in my opinion. The Bengals are 6.5-point favorites. Brian, what do you got?
Give me the Bungles.
Yeah, I think so too. I believe the 6.5 is what's concerning me. I don't
Yeah.
think there's a world where Cincinnati doesn't win this game. I just don't know if it's going to be by a touchdown. That's my concern.
Okay, here's my reasoning. I think I'll make it very easy for you. I saw a post today that said the literal caption was "Help is on the way for Houston," and it was like Derek Stingley and this fucking third string tight end's coming back, and I'm like, Derek
Brevin
Stingley
Jordan?
got who?
Yeah,
Brevin
probably
Jordan?
Brevin Jordan.
No, it wasn't Brevin Jordan. I don't think it might have actually. It could have been Brevin
Brevin
Jordan,
Jordan's no
but I
go.
think it was. I don't think that was the name I was reading. Like, I don't remember Brevin Jordan. It was like a very like foggy name. It wasn't something like very like I know
Right.
who Brevin Jordan is.
Gotcha. Make your point. He's number 9.
Yes,
He's a tight end.
I know. He caught that pass that literally gave him the second pick in the draft. Derek Stingley, I think, got cooked his entire rookie year and got hurt at the beginning of this year. What help is that, dude? You have a second-year DB who's getting cooked.
It's still a top 5 pick who's a cornerback who played very good. His
Obviously,
his
yes.
true freshman season at LSU is some of the best college football tape you're ever going to find on a cornerback in the SEC. I know it hasn't translated yet into the NFL. A lot of people gave them flack then, still give them flack now for taking Stingley over Sauce. I
We'll
think it's
see.
honestly
We'll
easy.
see.
It's easy to say that shit now. I think
Yeah.
going into the draft, you talk about a guy who came out of Cincinnati versus a guy who played against top flight competition in the SEC. I like Stingley. He's obviously not Sauce, but I think he's a solid guy. I think it is help for their defense. Maybe, see what it's like to play a game where they're not chasing points the whole game and having CJ Stroud do
Well-
Hercules shit at the end of the game.
Hold on. Before you say chasing points, before we're not chasing points, yeah, he's a solid guy, but is this going to translate to a game against the Bengals who just fucking picked it up? And the Stroud boys they're rolling, but they're not they're clearly not a top
Any
15 team in the
situation in the
league.
NFL where you have a starter back instead of a backup is a good situation.
True. Listen, it doesn't translate to me right now. I don't think it's going to translate in this game.
That's fine. I'm going to swerve while I drive. Give me Houston.
Yeah, I'm going to take Houston too.
And I swerve when I drive. And I swerve Strickland.
Ooh, this one's interesting.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Sure is.
So we got New Orleans versus Minnesota. New Orleans -3.
Who did Minnesota play last week?
The
They
Falcons.
came back
Came
against
back against Falcons.
the Falcons.
And I'm going to take Minnesota because I think this Josh Dobbs thing is kind of interesting.
The Falcons aren't the Saints, though.
Yeah,
Saints
but
defense is good.
Falcons
also
are a
they
better
fucking the
defense
Cardinals
than-
also bullied the Cowboys with Josh Dobbs, who had no help, and now he has help in Minnesota. So we really are just living in Josh Dobbs' world. It's kind of crazy. I'm gonna take
Part-time
Minnesota.
rocket science.
Part-time fucking rocket
see they're calling
scientist,
him the
full-time
Pastronaut?
pastronaut.
They're calling him the
The
Pastronaut.
The
Pastronaut.
pastronaut.
How
That's
amazing
amazing,
is that, dude?
He's gonna go fucking for a little orbit trip around Mars in 2025.
Dude, he's gonna
Is
be...
he for real, or are you
Yeah.
making that up? Oh,
no,
shit.
I'm dead serious. He works part-time for NASA.
Oh, shit.
Wait, he's an actual fucking ass.
Oh, yeah, I knew he was a
Holy
rocket scientist.
fuck!
Yeah, that's why he's the Pastronaut.
That's incredible, dude.
I'm taking
What the fuck's
Minnesota.
gonna happen to his career? He's just gonna fucking play in the NFL. He's like, all right, I'm fucking off to Mars.
One of the most interesting fucking guys, dude.
Yeah.
Quarterback. He's been on fucking 3 teams in 1 year, basically.
About to get paid to be
Probably
a
about
nice
to get
number
paid
2.
decent money. Alopecia. Good guy. Great.
Jersey
Did
number.
you see the Vikings fan after the game on TikTok was like, this is Josh Dobbs' team now, and he's fucking standing in front of a mirror, and he picked the phone's like on the mirror, he picks up a buzzer
It's
and just
Josh
starts
Dobbs.
shaving
He's
his
just
fucking
shaving his
eyebrows.
fucking eyebrows. Yeah, I did see that. That's fucking... Yeah, you know what? I'm
so,
taking
so you
Minnesota.
two are going. You two
I'm
are
gonna go
going Skull
Minnesota.
Vikings. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna go fucking Houday
Who?
or Houdat. They're Houdat. The
Yeah, they're
Bengals are
Houdat.
Houday.
Yeah. Another spicy one here. Not really. Green Bay Packers versus the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Give me
Steelers
Pittsburgh.
are -3. Yeah, I'm going to take Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I'll go. I'm not gonna swerve on this one.
Jordan Love just not looking convincing.
Jordan Love ain't the guy.
Packers look like they're slowly imploding. Another spicy one here. Tennessee versus Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay is -1. And Will
This-
Levis looks
You know,
good.
in the games where James says that, oh, I think Tennessee takes one, James, how are you leaning right now?
Yesterday, I was kind of leaning Tampa Bay. At least I picked them to be the favorite, and you two picked Tennessee to be the favorite. I think.
Yeah.
It's tough, man. It's tough. The spread doesn't really. It's essentially a pick 'em.
To clarify, I'm not fading you on this one, so keep going.
No, I know. I'm really conflicted about it because the spread doesn't help you out because 1 point is, essentially
It means
a pick 'em.
It's a pick 'em, it's a money line.
It's basically, it's a half point away from being a pick 'em, and it's tough, man. It really is. I'm gonna go Tampa.
You gonna go Tampa?
I'm gonna go Tampa.
I'm going to go Tennessee.
Well, fuck. Now I'm actually conflicted.
The Tampa Bay defense makes me nervous, but like I've said before, Tampa Bay is totally dependent on which version of Baker Mayfield is going to show up this week. And he's been
It's
doing
been a while, right?
So we might be due for a bad Baker.
Yeah, and we had a defensive collapse last week in Tampa Bay, which is not something you expect to come from
Right.
that defense.
How did Mike Evans play last week?
I think he did normal Mike Evans stuff. I don't think it was.
I don't think he got in the.
How did
PJ.
Godwin play?
spectacular.
What?
How did Godwin play?
I think Godwin might have scored.
I'm gonna go have a look here to let me prove my point. Do you guys have anything you'd like to add to this while I'm searching for my point?
I'm
here?
pulling it up for you. You just want to know who scored last week?
Yeah, just give me fantasy points. That'll work.
I'll pull up the stats. So Evans was 4 for 87.
4 for 87.
Godwin was 2 for 16. The real receiver this week was Otten. 6 for
Yeah,
70
Otten got him
and 2
twice.
touchdowns.
2 for 16. How many targets for Godwin?
2 for
6.
16.
6 targets on 2 for 16.
Okay. All right. You guys familiar with the Baker Mayfield cycle?
I am.
I'm not. Pull me
So
in.
Brian, you wanna clue James in here because I'm a little foggy on it at the
Well,
moment.
it's like I just said. Baker, the story with Baker, I feel like, is
With
hot
every team
game,
he's played
hot
for.
game, hot game. Oh, you're
Start
making...
the season very well.
Yes, that is. Yeah, starts the season off very well, and then it slowly kind of starts to tailor off. But
And then what happens when the tailors off? What happens?
then he does bad, and then he starts playing well again. Is that what you're gonna say?
No. I'm wondering to see if I can get it up on this guy's Instagram page because I've seen it a lot of times. Give me a second.
Because I feel like that's always like he did have that one season on the Browns where they beat. Did they beat the Chiefs in the playoffs?
Steelers.
The Steelers in the playoffs, where he was like it was looking good, but then I think the week after they versed the team and it did not
Yeah.
look good at all. But I don't know. He's been playing decent.
Unfortunately, right now we're at a point in time in the NFL where wild card weekend the drop off in teams that, the 6, 7, 5 seeds, if they wind up advancing, it's usually not even going to be a competitive game in the second round.
Right.
It's just so top.
Wait, no,
It's like the Giants last year.
That's not it.
There could be an NFC team that gets in with 8 or 9 wins this year in the 7 seed. And then right now, if the playoffs ended today, the entire AFC North is in the playoffs.
I have it.
Yeah.
I have it.
Let's hear it.
The Baker Mayfield cycle. Sign with a new team. Underdog mentality. Beat inferior opponent. Play like shit. We are here. Blame head coach and get star wide receiver traded.
Okay.
Right? And then it restarts with sign with a new team. That's the cycle.
Damn. So he missed his trade opportunity at the deadline.
Jets tried.
I know. That would have been great.
Jets tried to get Evans. They really did.
That's still, not a tangent, but that makes no sense to me.
This offseason, if Godwin or Mike Evans disappears, this cycle is tried and true.
Consistent.
It's consistent.
Well, Mike Evans is going to walk. They're not going to pay him to keep him.
It happened with Odell. It didn't happen with the Rams when he was only there for what, a fucking week?
A few days,
Yeah.
Happened with Odell. It happened with DJ Moore.
Happened with DJ Moore.
Yeah.
Happened with...
Well, that's it. Those are the 4 teams he's been on.
And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are ripe for this, dude. This cycle is about to be 3 for fucking 3.
Yeah.
So, you know what?
I mean, look, you could argue that it didn't happen with the Rams.
Considering... Well, who? Who got traded?
Who's that fucking piece of shit from the Bears? Played at the Jaguars first.
Allen Robinson.
The Rams traded him this offseason.
Holy shit. I
didn't even realize
holy
that.
fuck.
And they traded Van Jefferson, didn't they?
Yeah.
He's not on the Rams anymore.
Van Jefferson.
He got traded to the Falcons.
That was this year, though, because of Puka Nuka. Make a pick already. This is a long fucking walk for a short trip.
I'm picking Tennessee based on the fact that we are still literally, dude,
we're currently in stage 4.
Stage 4, play like
the
shit.
underdog mentality thing got me bad. We are here.
The other one is so I'm trying to figure out where it starts. All right, this one starts at the top. Play like shit. Criticized by the media. Underdog mentality. Beat inferior opponent. Call out doubters. And then it goes to play like shit. So...
Yeah, I feel like we maybe have to play like shit part of the cycle this week.
Yeah, so now he's going to get criticized by the media for losing to the fucking Tennessee Titans. Then it's going to be the underdog mentality.
With beat inferior opponent because I think Tennessee is inferior.
Hey man, listen. Apparently we are at the play like shit part of any Baker Mayfield cycle. So
we're getting there.
We're getting there, dudes.
Yeah,
we're getting
always
somewhere.
Be next week we get to play like shit. Let's move it. Let's keep it moving here. Let's go San Fran at Jacksonville. San Fran's -3.
Give me Jacksonville.
I mean, this one just seems easy. You want Jacksonville? I'll take San Fran.
San Fran's away?
Yeah.
Yeah, give me Jacksonville.
It's a spicy meatball.
Duval County, baby.
That's
Duval. You know what I haven't been able to get in my head all day, and I know it's not a football thing, but fucking, you ever watch a Kings game? You know how, like, all the home
Light
teams...
the beam.
No, not the beam team. You know how, like, the home teams fucking announcers, like, whenever the away team scores, they're like, LeBron James 2-pointer.
Yeah.
But then if someone... When Keegan Murray fucking shoots a 3, the guy, like, in next to the announcer guy is, Sacramento Kings 3-pointer, Keegan Murray! And the whole fucking crowd loses it. Big fan of Keegan Murray. That's got nothing to do with what we're talking about. But when you said Duval, it reminded me.
Dude, they used to do that shit at our high school. Whenever someone shot a corner 3, they would pull the Peter Griffin shit. How you'd go like, whatever, whoever's name, fucking John Doe. Corner 3! And they told them to stop doing it.
The announcer did it?
Yeah. You don't remember this?
No, dude. We were too
they
busy.
did this shit
we
when I was
too
a
busy
freshman.
almost getting technical fouls, me and Alcino watching your high school basketball games. Cleveland Browns traveling to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Most expensive backup quarterback in the NFL. Deshaun Watson clocking it in at 248 millis. Going to play the Ravens. We said this last week. Until the fucking Ravens don't dominate someone I'm riding their coattails.
Yeah.
Give me Lamar in Baltimore.
And I'm taking Gus Bus for Dose.
They're kicking the shit out of
it's probably
teams.
plus 300.
Kicking the absolute shit out of teams that are good in this league.
Quite literally, we would call a dick kicking.
Embarrassed the Seahawks.
It's not like they're kicking the dicks of bottom tier fuck. It's not like they're kicking the dicks of
dude, that shit's
Arizona and
hanging.
the Giants, dude. The fucking Lions were one of the best teams in the NFL when they beat the fuck out of them.
I'm gonna call the Baltimore Ravens fucking meat spin, dude.
Okay, interesting. The Ravens, to me, now finally after last week, they're kind of now being talked about in that top 4. But for whatever reason, they don't get the fucking same respect all of these juggernauts do. And maybe it's the injury history. Maybe it's the Lamar collapsing late in the year the last couple of years. I'm rolling with the Ravens until they prove to me otherwise.
Yeah,
That's Ravens
I feel like
across
this
the
is
board,
an
right?
easy
their
one.
weakest opponent was probably the Texans. Maybe. Oh no, that was preseason. Their weakest opponent was the Titans, really, or the Cardinals. But everyone else has been pretty good. I got us on the next one. We have Atlanta against Arizona. Atlanta's -2.
Wow.
And I just feel like Arizona might be the move here.
You know what? No,
Yeah.
because
We were just talking about the Baker Mayfield cycle. Let's talk about Kyler Murray, dude. It'd be very Kyler Murray is show up, give you a ton of false hope, collapse early.
no.
Late.
Call of Duty comes out, collapse.
Not worried about Call of Duty coming out because it comes out tonight. He's got 2 days to get it in. That campaign mode's only 4 hours long. He'll be done.
You don't play campaign.
By the time I post this podcast, he'll be done with the campaign.
Kyler Murray is slide canceling into little fucking 13-year-olds and getting them their
I
parents.
don't know.
to
Jonathan
scream
Gannon doesn't look like a guy who's with the bullshit, dude.
Nah.
Jonathan Gannon doesn't seem like a guy who's with the bullshit. I'm going to go ahead and take the Cards.
I'm going to take the Cards too.
A fresh Kyler Murray, usually by this point in the year, he's already got 2 or 3 minor injuries and he's hobbled around on one good ankle.
James Conner return this weekend, hopefully. He hasn't been cleared from the IR yet, but
how's the Arizona defense? Just fucking abysmal.
It's all right, though.
All right.
What's weird is like they just fucking up and cut Kayvon Wallace the week of the trade deadline for no good reason. They're like kind of doing a quiet quitting kind of a version of the tank. I don't know what's going on. I mean, we knew they traded Josh Dobbs because they were expecting Kyler to be back. They were benching Josh Dobbs before the trade deadline regardless because they were going to go to Clayton Tune for 1 game and then an easy way to bring Kyler back in. That was been the plan. Everything's going according to their plan so far. But that same week, they traded Josh Dobbs and then they cut Kayvon Wallace, who was a starter and a very significant player on that Eagles defense last year. I don't know where Kayvon Wallace wound up, but
have you seen this man?
It was interesting to me. But yeah, Cardinals. Jack, make a pick.
Who are you feeling?
You just said to me last night that Arthur Smith's the worst coach in the NFL. That was a sentence you said
I
to
did
me.
say that last night. Dude, he shaved the stash. I don't know. Fuck. Spread?
Apparently it's
-2.
2.
Oh.
Apparently Arthur Smith's got like oil money or something. Did you see that? Like his dad or his grandfather.
Yeah, his dad owns
Is it oil?
No, he's born into fucking oil money.
Oil
Damn.
money, right?
Yeah. I'm forgetting who the guy's.
Shit, if I was born into oil money, I'd just be a football coach for a living too.
Right.
See how far up the ladder you could get. Start at like a Division III school and see how far up you could go.
I'll ride with the boys. I'll go Cardinals. I don't know, man. In classic Atlanta fashion, I see them winning this game, and then fucking we're dealing with a fucking 10-7 Atlanta team that makes the wild card and then beats someone.
You're gonna get their fucking heads kicked in if they make the playoffs. It's not even
I
close.
hope they do. Those fucking helmets are ugly.
The whole uniform is ugly. I don't know how long they've had these uniforms, but we cannot get to the 5-year mark soon enough because we need to fucking change. There's nothing
They're
wrong with
brand
the
new.
ones they had. They're not
They're-
brand new. It's like 2.
The helmets are fucking new.
No, they're uniforms is what I'm talking about.
The black and the white, yeah.
And then the weird 2-tone jerseys that they wear, ugly. The numbers are ugly.
Yeah, they're gross.
It's fucking disgusting.
Next up, pretty good game here. We got the Lions versus the Chargers. Lions are -3.
Lions, I feel like this is a pretty fairly standard.
I agree too.
The Lions are just marching their way into the fucking playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, nothing really wowed me on Monday night with
No.
the Chargers. Like, look, we know the Jets defense is good. I get it, but like the Chargers didn't beat the Jets. The Jets beat the Jets on Monday night.
That punt return is what killed them, really.
The two fumbles inside
Yeah.
Detroit, Chargers territory in the first half. The fact that fucking Zach Wilson's got 1.2 seconds in the red zone. They're still making it a game. The first drive of the second half, Zach Wilson drives them all the way down the field. Then they're in the red zone on 2nd and goal. They come out in 13 personnel and call a passing play with only two routes out in the pattern.
Perfect.
And then fucking Joey Bosa's in Zach's face within 1.5 seconds.
Yeah.
But then people on Twitter are still saying Zach held the ball too long. Bro, what?
Yeah.
He fucking barely got the laces in his hands before Bosa was eating him.
Yeah.
Unreal. Give me Detroit
Take
as well.
Detroit?
Yeah.
All right, game of the week here. We got the fucking New York Giants.
You know what's fucked up? That probably is the Fox game of the week.
It probably is.
Yeah.
What time is it?
4:25.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we got the motherfucking New York Giants versus the Dallas Cowboys. And it's -17.
And we're getting Tommy fucking DeVito.
And we're getting Tommy DeVito.
We got Bryan.
Tommy DeVito's like the fucking second
Yeah,
kid in
he's
the
basically-
He's like the fucking
Yeah.
second kid in the school band who's playing French horn. He needs to play better, dude.
Yeah. Shout out that
I'm just
guy.
taking the Cowboys because I
Yeah,
just
give me the
can't.
boys.
I
I
can't
just-
even watch this team anymore.
I want. You have no hope, so I'll have no hope. Give me Dallas. I
You know
wanted
what
to
it
say like Tommy DeVito comes out.
Put it this way. Put it this way, Jack. The Raiders won what, 20-3
Yeah.
against the Giants. Okay, and that's the Raiders, the team who just fired their coach because they've been playing so poorly. Dallas is actually a pretty decent team, so 17 doesn't seem really out of the realm of possibility.
But I kind of want to see Stephen A. Smith wear a cowboy hat on First Take on Monday morning. So you know.
Well, you're not gonna be watching First Take. You're gonna be at work.
You're gonna be
boy.
working because now you're working.
That's
You're a
great.
working man now.
Next up, this is a kind of a blah game here. Jack's favorite team, the Washington Commanders,
Yeah,
versus
buddy.
the Seattle Seahawks, and it's the Seahawks -6.5.
Give me Seattle.
Yeah?
Yeah, give me Seattle.
Oh yeah, give me Seattle. Dude, you fucking kidding? The historically bad Washington Seawards.
I'm riding with you guys. Ooh, Sunday night. Didn't know the Jets were on Sunday night.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh,
we'll get the
yeah.
we'll get the fucking trio of primetime. We got this dog shit tonight, Chicago, Carolina. Then we got Jets, Raiders.
Oh,
Sunday
God.
Night, then Denver, Buffalo Monday night. It's a fucking chimera of dog
Oh,
shit
damn.
football. on primetime
Mara
football.
dog shit
So-
football.
We got Jets versus Raiders Sunday night.
Jets are minus.
Jets
one.
-1.
Yeah, I want you guys to go first. I want to go last on this one.
What? Who are they playing?
The
The
Raiders.
Raiders.
My concern with this game is
Can I tell you something?
what's that?
I think Billy Turner got hurt today.
Yeah! Dude, that's something to cheer about.
No,
Fucking
I'm
up
not
top.
cheering
Is
about
that
an
a
injury.
Up
good
top.
thing for the Jets?
No.
or-
I'm not cheering about an injury.
I'm not fucking rooting for a guy who has a fucking another man call his kids daddy.
I'm just not gonna cheer and high five you for an injury. I won't do it.
Can you give me one?
I'll give you one.
Yeah, that's what
Here's
I'm
the
talking
way-
about.
I see this. Raiders came out, classic we fire a coach, smack the shit out of the Giants. We don't really know what this team looks like after the shine of getting rid of Josh McDaniel actually looks like. Do you know what I'm saying? No disrespect to
Yeah.
Antonio Pierce, but is it going to be like what it was last week, or are we just kind of
I
going
mean,
back
listen,
to...
man, those players felt them. I don't know if they're still feeling them, dude.
I mean, I'm sure they are, but I don't know. This is a tough one. I think I'm going to go Jets, simply based off the fact that the defense is top 5, and let's not forget, the Raiders are still running a rookie quarterback right now.
Yeah.
It's not like it's Jimmy G in there, right? Giants defense, not even on the same level as the Jets. So Aiden O'Connell is able to kind of sit back and establish. I don't think that's going to be the same deal with Quinnen Williams and C.J. Mosley, and now you got Sauce Guard and Devontae every now and then, depending on where he's at in the field. So I'm going to go with the Jets
So,
on this one.
James, would you like to opt into the conversation
About what?
before I make my
Go.
pick?
He's going last.
He wants to go last.
Yeah. That's where you guys go first.
I'm
means.
giving you a one-on-one. I'm giving you a 1+1. I just wanted to know. All right. I can't see. I mean, you know, great game for the Raiders. I I can't see them going through the literal fucking gulag that is the Jets defense.
Yeah, not against a rookie quarterback. Not with Quinn Williams on the interior. Not with Sauce Gardner guarding Devontae on a decent amount of the plays. Like,
Josh
don't
Jacobs going to be
think so.
actually projecting his fucking frustrations in all of
that's a great point, too. Josh Jacobs had 2 touchdowns last week and had a great game. That is not going to happen against the Jets' interior line. It's not going to happen.
They're going to be like, keep giving Josh Jacobs the ball. He's going to be like, stop, no!
Right. Quinn
No
Williams
more!
is going to eat him up. And you know how we've talked about Mosley. He's
Quincy
all over
Williams
the
is going
fucking
to give
field,
somebody
so-
a concussion. I don't know if he has yet, but he's going to. Guy's a little fucking
Yeah.
torpedo.
All right, make a pick.
Yeah, give me the Jets.
The Jets.
So when we started this, I was 100% confident that I was taking the Raiders.
Wow.
But the more and more I think about it, it's only one. If this is a 3-point spread, I'm taking the Raiders. If this is 3.5, I'm taking the Raiders.
Okay.
Considering that it's only 1 point, Aiden O'Connell. We do see it a lot. As much of a trope as it is that we just fired our coach victory game,
Mm-hmm.
they almost always lose the second game.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't.
So I will take the Jets begrudgingly.
Yeah.
Begrudgingly, I will select the New York Jets.
That's how I feel, too. I'm not confident in it, but based off the fact
Max Crosby might set a fucking personal record for single game sacks.
Yeah.
Is he that much better than Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa together? Is he?
I mean, he's probably just as good as Joey Bosa. Joey Bosa had fucking 4 sacks.
Yeah.
Well, who do you think Joey Bosa is better than Khalil Mack? Well, Khalil Mack's in the
Well,
not
he's
in
a
the
little
twilight.
older.
Well,
but
Max
he's,
older, but no, I mean,
he's
they
aging
probably,
like wine, though, dude. He's fucking.
No, he's
he almost set a fucking single sack record.
Yeah, but Khalil Mack also lined up over Mekhi Becton a lot of the game, and Mekhi Becton is one of the fucking solid parts of this Jets offensive line right now.
As wild
So
as
now,
that is
if
to
Billy
say.
Turner, if I was correct, and Billy Turner did get hurt today or yesterday,
Confirm this.
what are we doing? We're bumping Max Mitchell back over to right tackle, and then who's playing guard? Are we putting fucking Schweitzer back out there? Is Connor McGovern going to be back? We know we're not getting ABT. What happens? Is Dwayne Brown going to go play right tackle? If Dwayne Brown comes in off of the shoulder surgery and goes play, the last time we saw him, he was getting ruining our season. So
Billy Turner injury could force another Jets offensive line shuffle.
yeah, they just picked up Roger Saffold last week, so Roger Saffold might slide
Yeah,
to guard.
42-year-old
42 years
Roger
old.
Saffold.
But he was a Pro Bowler the last season he played. They can move him to guard and move Max Mitchell back out to right tackle. The Jets' offensive line is a mess, and they got some fucking another defensive unit of dogs in the front seven.
Maybe Raj brings a little fucking community to the
And we'll
offensive
fucking
line.
see what happens. But I guess Jets it is. Let's go
Alright.
to the Monday night game.
Last game here. We got the Denver Broncos versus the Buffalo Bills, and the Bills are going to be -7.5.
Again, I'm going to choose to go last year.
I feel like we haven't had.
I'm going to decline your 1-year extension.
I feel like we haven't had a Josh Allen blowout all-star type of game since they versed the Commanders this year, and I think this is probably another one. I think it happens here. It's in Buffalo. Patrick Surtain, great corner. He's not looking the same this year. It's looking a little
Solid.
different.
He's been solid. though.
I don't think the Denver's Broncos offense keeps up, to be honest. I don't think they can.
Yeah.
So,
It's fair.
I'm going with the Bills.
It's fair enough point. Yak. Big Shaq.
Oh, fuck.
Fuck what? Just one team or the other. It's 7.5 points.
Give me the Broncos.
Broncos.
Yeah.
All they have to do is
That's
cover.
where you're going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Broncos.
Yeah.
This Bills team is not impressive this year. They've struggled offensively against middle of the pack defenses. Their defense is not there. They've suffered significant blows to the defense by losing their best player in Trey White, their second best player in Matt Milano. I believe Jordan Poyer is hurt. The defense, they tried to replace Trey White with Rasul Douglas, who just last season after a game against the Packers or during the game, Josh Allen said that guy's fucking trash, and now they're teammates. I disagree.
Weird.
I think the Denver Broncos offense can and will run with the Bills. I think advantage on defense goes to Denver, and I think advantage on offense could go Denver as well. Like the advantage with the Bills offense against the Denver defense goes to the Denver defense. And then Denver offense against Bills defense. I think advantage could be Denver as well. I really do.
It's weird to me because, like, this game kind of seems it could go both ways. To me, it could be what Bryan's saying, and it could be the SpongeBob. But how many times we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Right.
It's fucking Russell Wilson. I mean, I think the Broncos are rolling going into the bye week, bludgeoning the Chiefs.
Yeah.
It's just, it makes too much sense. Like, why not pick up another one? Why not look like a halfway decent team, you know?
AFC
And
wins
if
it.
we do want to see Rodgers play this year, and the Jets got to contend, and we need help in the division. We got all the fucking stars aligned for us last week. Everybody in the division lost. Jets could have won and been a half game out of first place in the division, and instead we got to see that fucking debacle of a football game against the Chargers. So, SLKS, let's go ahead and keep it moving into gambling. Last week I locked Atlanta -4.5, which obviously they lost. I locked Cleveland -8.
Covered.
And I locked the Raiders -2. So I went 2 for 1 on my locks. The Jets were the glizzy god. Obviously did not pay off.
And do you have my picks, or you only have your
I
own?
think that's what Brian's fishing for right now.
I'd love to see mine.
Right? No. I thought I put him on the back of 9. Did I not?
That's week
That's
7.
week 7.
No, this one. I thought I had him on the back. Oh, where's the sheet that says right that you had before? Is she on there?
Yeah, buddy.
There she is. All right, so Jack had Vegas -2, Cincy -2.5, Baltimore -6. Glizzy was Washington -3.5.
4 for fucking 4.
He hit on 4. Sorry, +3.5.
Did Washington win the game though?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just at. Oh, you're right. They did. Yeah.
I had Cincy hit 2.5. Atlanta did not. Tampa Bay hit. No, they didn't hit, right? No, yeah, they hit because they won by 3. They
The
covered.
2.
Two.
They lost by
Oh.
2.
I know. I know. I
No, it was the spread 2.5,
2.5.
wasn't it?
Oh yeah,
so they
sorry.
covered. Yeah.
So we hit there.
Covered by half
Did
point.
not hit on the Jets. So
Yeah.
I went 2-1 on the locks. No Glizzy over here.
So before we move to the gambling, I told you I was gonna rub this in your fucking face when I was right, and that New England's a poverty fucking franchise, and now you agree with me. So
They
now
are a
will
poverty
you?
Yeah.
franchise
Now all I
for
asked
sure,
for
yeah.
before I
So is Washington though.
before we go anywhere, can you say that you were a little silly last week? Can you say
I
that
don't think
for
it was
me?
too silly.
Just a little bit.
This is what I'll say, dude. This is what I'll say.
This is about to get fucking ridiculous. Oh no!
Even a broken clock is right twice a day.
Holy fuck, dude!
Even autistic squirrels find a nut once in a while.
Wait, what?
All right? So that's what I'll say. Don't fucking come on my show that I was nice enough to let you join 2 years ago and demand a fucking apology from me, dude. I'll fucking do a Baltimore Raven dick kicking right between your legs. You fucking baby elephant. Don't you dare, dude.
I did
How dare
not.
you.
I did not ask for an apology.
How
I just
fucking
asked
dare
if
you?
you
And
admit,
I told you what I had to say.
I just didn't ask if you would admit that you were a little silly. Just a little bit.
Nah, I
Just
wasn't.
a little goofy.
I won't. Did they win the game? Sure. Was I wrong? Yeah. Not going to apologize. I'm not going to say I was silly. I will always back up the numbers and the history, and what the recent history and the numbers tell us is that I wasn't
Patriots are
wrong with my
poverty
team.
French.
And New
But
England
due
is,
to recent history, now we know.
I really
Don't bet on
wish
Pats.
the Patriots didn't just re-sign Belichick, because I would love nothing more than to dance on his grave.
Did you
at the end
guys
of the
see
year.
the fucking video of Belichick walking outside of a beach house?
They're talking about that. They're
Fucking
talking about a
shirtless.
chance of somebody trading for Belichick in the offseason.
What?
But they just re-upped him, so I don't see
Right.
how that works.
Somebody traded for Sean Payton, so
Sure.
The Patriots traded for Bill Belichick. Technically. Because he was under contract with the New York Jets. So they had to send draft pick compensation to him. Herm Edwards got traded from the Jets to the Kansas City Chiefs. It happens more than you think.
Mm.
Gambling, it wasn't good. It's getting bad here, and we really got to right the ship. We had 250 on the Raiders to win 233 -2. That one cashed. That was the only one that cashed. We had 250 on Atlanta -4.5. That one lost. So against the 233 in winnings, we are at minus $18.
Minus 18.
Minus $18. We had 250 on the Jets money line. We had 125 on the Bucks money line, 125 on the Rams money line. So that's a total loss for the week of $518. Added to the minus 297 we started the week at, we're at minus $815.
All right.
So let's get it fucking popping.
Fucking digging. We all liked the Steelers, and I feel that that's safe, given how.
Let's do locks first.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Well, I'm gonna lock up the
see the
Steelers first. All right, hold on. Go ahead, take a look at your sheet.
Put your money where your mouth is. Hey now.
Oh,
Hey now.
it's just a blank sheet.
I'm gonna lock Baltimore minus 6.5. I'm gonna lock the Steelers minus 3. And I'm gonna lock Seattle minus 6.5.
I'm gonna lock Cincinnati 6.5. I'm gonna lock Baltimore 6.5. And let me have a look at them spreads.
Give me 1 sec.
Seattle is also minus 6.5 or 5.5.
I think there were 6.
Yeah, well, it's 6.5.
6.5 Seattle.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm gonna have to take a quick little look-see here, and I'll explain to you my theory when we get there. If, God willing. Okay. It's low enough for me. I'm gonna lock the over in the Germany game. Indianapolis and New England.
What is it?
It's 42.5. So,
Okay.
my theory goes as follows.
I
Anytime
want to try to get a bet in. So let's try
anytime
to
that
accelerate to the finish here.
a mediocre or kind of team, not a jump off at the paper at you, whenever they play in Europe, they seem to have a very good game. So this is for the Patriots. It's probably gonna be like they might put up 17, but I think the Colts are gonna fucking put up 30. Just because when they get over there, these teams that like don't make sense why they should be winning or they shouldn't be winning, they put up a lot more points, which is wild. But maybe that's just the European market. Maybe that's the buzz they get over there. Maybe everything's a little different. But I do notice that there's a consistent theme where it looks like the over is hitting in overseas games. So I'm going to lock the over in Indianapolis and New England, and that's 42.5.
Gliz?
Gliz.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I'm going with Minnesota on the Gliz.
Really?
Locking up Pittsburgh.
Are they valid? Are they eligible?
-3 or +3 rather.
I'll go with Minnesota on the Glizzy.
Yeah. I have Pittsburgh -3. I have Seattle -6.5, and then I also have San Fran -3 for the locks. Minnesota on the
You guys are making a
Gliz.
big mistake.
If you're right this time, Jack, I don't even know what to fucking say. Every week you get one game, for real, and I watch it on Sunday, and I'm like, fuck.
Denver
You're like, holy
Broncos.
fuck, what's
taking
going
the
on?
My
Gliz?
Glizzy's going to be the Denver Broncos. I was thinking Houston, but I'm going to go Denver.
He went for the spicy one. I like it.
And that's not to cover 7.5, cucks. That's the money line.
This ain't no fucking RuPaul, dude.
No.
Do we need...
Are you sure? It doesn't sound like nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I was just playing off how hyped
Whoa.
you were. That's why I was saying, whoa.
Whoa.
All right, I mean, right away we're all behind. We're all behind Baltimore, or not so much.
Definitely.
We're all behind
I am.
Baltimore.
I think Jack is too.
We're all behind Baltimore, and we're all
Baltimore.
behind Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
Baltimore
like-
horse,
Seems
baby.
like 250 a pop right there.
Okay.
Baltimore Whores. Yeah.
Baltimore horse, baby.
Go Whores.
Yeah, dude.
Should we go crazy and just put 500 on Baltimore?
I mean, dude, we gotta right the ship.
It feels safe.
500 to win 466.
To kinda
Baltimore minus
Dig out a
6.5.
little bit, yeah.
Either that or we gotta fucking get a
And then
golden
we'll go
shovel,
Pitt.
dude.
Pitt -3, 250 to win 333.
Mm-hmm. And we all have Seattle -6.5.
I mean, you could throw Seattle in there if you want, but I don't want no 250 on it. I want a little parlay here, and I'll explain it to you. Give me uno
What do you
momento,
want?
por
Alright,
favor.
so I'll give you 1 unit for a parlay. So we'll put 150 on Seattle.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
And then we'll keep the hundo on Jack's parlay.
So somehow it worked out that all of my locks are what we're putting money on. So I'm just gonna need a little help with the math on the Seattle. I mean, if it's roughly -110, then that should be somewhere around
it's
like
like 112.
No, I mean 150 should win you something around like 120, 130. 150, yeah, ish.
133.
133. It's pretty damn good, huh?
I'm getting good at my quick math. This shit, dude.
Constructing my parlay.
You can't tell us that I want a parlay and then not even have something in mind.
I have something in mind. I'm just trying to think if it should. You know what? Yeah, we'll go for Trace. Trace Leche's cake, delicious.
Had some Trace Leches we were at a Colombian restaurant on Monday night that was so fucking Colombian. Fran had to order for everybody in Spanish.
Really?
Yeah, and I knew that shit was gonna slap.
Yeah,
Guess
you
what?
fucking know.
It
You know?
slapped.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right, here's the parlay. It's the Baltimore Ravens -6.5. It is the Detroit Lions -3, and is the Cincinnati Bengals 6.5. That's +608. So what's the unit? Is it 100?
Yeah.
So it should be
100 is going to win you 608.
It's Baltimore -6.5, Cincy -6.5, and what?
Detroit Lions -3.
And we're gonna do 100 to win 608.
Yep.
It's wins, yeah. You put those +608, right?
Yep.
Look, I don't love the Cincy. Obviously, I took Houston, and they were probably first runner-up to be my glizzy god. But I said that you can do it, and you guys both had Cincy, and I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for them to cover the 7.
And
So-
then when we rate the ship and we're back
don't
in
hate it.
positive numbers.
I mean, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get back into positive numbers here. If Baltimore wins and that parlay hits, we're back into the positives. And then it's just up to Pittsburgh and Seattle to
give us some extra money.
keep us some fucking momentum going. And then we'll get Alessino next week. Hopefully. Maybe they lost. We don't know yet. I'm hoping they lost. We get Alessino back here on Thursday, and he can maybe fucking talk some sense into us, because we've been left to our own devices and we've been making some mistakes.
I feel like I've been shining, though, in the absence. I feel like I've been doing a good
You're
job.
doing a good job.
You're doing good.
For sure.
I've definitely.
And you
There's
get
an
your one
improvement
pick.
in my game.
You've been doing good, results based, for sure.
The sophomore,
Yeah.
there was no sophomore slump for you.
Your
boy.
picks and your results based performance have definitely been
Absolutely.
doing better. You're getting better on the stick.
Absolutely.
You're getting better on the stick. You're getting more clear and concise with points, and that'll all come with time. And like I've been telling you, you know what? Fucking tomorrow, you're gonna be on the ground alone for most of the day. I want an ear pod in your ear. Listen to Tuesday's show and today's show,
Okay.
because I just want you to hear yourself. Because the
Yeah,
more you listen
and
to
you
yourself,
will, yeah.
you'll
So
hear
now
yourself.
this is.
You're gonna hear yourself, and you're gonna get tired of hearing certain shit that you do, and you're gonna be more conscious of fixing it. Going
So what I'm
forward.
going to do, I am going to clip this. I'm going to audio clip this, and then I'm going to tomorrow morning at whatever time. I'm going to walk into our boss's office, and I'm going to play the soundbite out loud, and I'm going to say, "I am doing this, and I am also doing this at the same time." And then we could.
You don't have to. We all fucking listen to music at work.
Yeah, as long as you're working.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Am I the only one?
You got a little.
Fuck,
beat maker?
man.
Well, I know. I mean, Ryan and Miguel had the beat maker on the lift with them today. We were on the other
They
lift.
did.
I
What
don't
were
have a
they?
beat
What were they
maker.
listening to? Some Cache or something?
Big booty mixes, probably.
Mhm.
Ryan has a
Yeah,
couple.
bro.
Of
He
different
found
things
out when the
puts
new
on.
Big Booty mixtape came out. I gotta ask him for it. Told my buddy Brandon. Shout out Brandon.
So, in conclusion here, 500 on Baltimore -6.5. We're going all big on the most dominant team in the NFL right now. 500 to win 466. 250 to win 233 on Pittsburgh -3. 150 to win 133 on Seattle -6.5. And then we have Baltimore -6.5, Cincinnati -6.5, Detroit -3, parlay 100 to win $608. Those are the bets. That's been the
Those
show.
are the bets, but there's one more bet before we get there.
BDSOW.
BDSOW,
All right, we'll be quick with it. I'm
baby.
not gonna be able to make a bet now. So.
I'm sorry. Just go right now.
It's
do
the
it.
last few minutes.
Yeah, but I'm
Just
gonna have
do
to
it.
turn the video off to do it.
So here's what we're going to do.
Do you know your bet big?
Got it. All right. Here's the BDSO. It's not in triple. It's not in quad digits. So I can give me a minute.
What's the URL for it?
Betbig.com
Just
or betbig247.
Okay, here it is, folks. The BDSOW is going to be the Germany game. It is going to be Indianapolis Colts money line. Michael Pittman for an anytime touchdown. The over on Gardner Minshew pass yards. That's 224.5. You're going to smash the over. We're going to take the over on Jonathan Taylor rushing yards at 71.5. So that's 72 cashes. And then we're going to take over 2.5 receptions for Hunter Henry. No longer hurt. No longer playing bum. Total odds on that is going to come out to, as a 6-pick parlay. Oh, wait, no, it's a 5-pick parlay. It's going to be plus 1,400 for you.
Damn. All right.
I mean, I came up with this one on the spot here, but you know
Really?
what?
Yeah,
Jesus, it's only 822. Oh, is this what it looks like now?
that's the prop builder. Yeah.
It's so much nicer than it used to look.
You know
Well,
what
that's
they
only for
say.
the prop builder.
I'm gonna sign you out.
Well, you know what? You know what
I'll
I
sign
say.
That's on eventually.
You know what I say. I always be big dick swinging, but I ain't rocking no 2 chains ever. So you know I gotta fix that. Shout out to the Chino
Fucking
man.
Chino man had 2 chains on at work today.
Oh,
I'm like,
jeez.
what is this dude stunting on him, dude? Bryan, closing remarks.
No.
Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys. I mean, no.
Oh.
Cowboys, honestly.
Oh,
I would still love to see the Giants win this game. I fucking hate the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Go
In
Cowboys.
conclusion,
I fucking
fuck the
hate the
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Yeah, fuck the Cowboys.
We're
They
brought
can-
to you by House of Havoc Podcasting, Stay Thirsty Company, Dino Skate Park, and Justin's Shop in West Hampton Beach. Peace out.
Remember, stun on these hoes. Stay tuned.
Yeah.